This episode of the Boss Rush Podcast is brought to you by, well, you. If you want to learn how to support our family of podcasts, head over to patreon.com/bossrushmedia or search for us on the Patreon app on your smart device. Thanks for helping us build something better. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Boss Rush Podcast, a great place to play games and be better. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Dirrig, and alongside me, as always, is the PC muscle race himself, LeRon Dawkins.
What's poppin'?
All covered up.
Yep.
The hoodie looks comfy, though. I gotta say, though.
It's nice. It's so comfy.
It looks like, I don't know how to explain the material, but it looks super comfy.
It's that waffle. It's that waffle weave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Also,
like,
what? Into what?
I was just about to say I actually bought it. I actually bought it to my size, so it doesn't make me look all pumped up. You know. I didn't medium it.
Medium. That's funny. Also joining us is the mad pharmacist herself, Stephanie Klimov.
Good evening.
Hi, Stephanie.
Hey.
Your jacket thing also looks comfortable.
It is. I think, Stoy had mentioned this because his wife started wearing this. I guess it's like, I don't know what it's called, but it's a shirt, but also a jacket. So it's like a shacket or something. I don't know. It sounds really stupid. Because I keep thinking of shart when I hear shacket. But apparently shacket is a thing, and this is what it is.
I don't know if I like that word.
I don't
like
know.
the concept,
Yeah,
though.
no.
Yeah, I don't like the
no,
word
it's
either.
Also joining us, finally back, the wise Wisconsinite, Mr. Jesse Douglas.
Ow, ow!
Back for
Hello.
the second time today. Just a little behind the scenes.
Full production note. Our recording messed up, so we're trying again.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Way to go,
Oh,
Jesse,
good,
for pointing out that we're not perfect. Way
I
to
know,
go.
Jesse. Gosh.
Hey, no one is.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
You know what,
Yeah.
Jesse? Your shirt doesn't look comfortable, okay?
No, it isn't.
Wow. How salty of you, Corey.
Even though I wore a blue polo shirt to work today. So,
Yeah, we're actually, our work shirts are going to end up being polos now instead of bowling shirts. Because
I gotta say though, I like Jesse. Was it 3.0 at this point now? Like, man, you're looking pretty svelte.
I know.
Yeah, I guess
Look-
it would be 3.0.
Look how small he looks. Look how, like...
Right?
Oh,
I know. I go back and look at like just
He
the
doesn't
pictures
take up his whole grid anymore in the podcast squares.
I know. Gosh, can you just give this man a cheeseburger or something? Jeez, eat something. I'm quite jealous.
Trust me, I do eat. I just only eat once a day. No, I was kidding.
Once a
You're
day is
like...
kind of drastic.
No, I've just cut back on eating crap all the time.
Mm.
If I do eat bad, I just make sure that I'm not eating as much of it.
That's fair.
So
That's something I need to do, but I don't because I'm a terrible person. But it's fine. It's all good. Jesse, we're glad you're here.
yeah,
We missed you. You're really important to us and this and everything. So I'm glad you're gonna kind of be sticking around semi-regularly and being here and
yeah.
all the things we said on the
guys,
first recording that was lost.
Yeah, you guys definitely, you guys are like, well, I joke and say my podcast family, but we've had a lot of fun together. I mean, we've spent a lot of time talking about stuff over the years, and and getting to meet some of you guys like at things. I hope more that can happen more in the future and stuff. But I miss it. I miss it a lot. And it's, I was saying on our other recording, like part of it's selfish that I want to do it more for myself, but just being able to talk to you guys more often and stuff is what I definitely need, So I talked about it I think I talked about it a little bit last time I was on the show or whatever, but I'm sure people know like that I just, went through divorce and stuff, and mm, not really going to get into it too much, but yeah, like that's why I kind of stepped away for a while, and still got a lot to work on. I mean, it's hasn't even been a year yet since I've been, like divorced, but yeah, last time I was on, I was in a relationship way too early.
That happens though, right? Usually after a breakup, though. I mean, that's how it
Yeah,
goes. I mean,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean that relationship, it, it wasn't great, you know, but that's besides the point. I also shouldn't have been in it, period. But
Stepping stones.
Live
yeah,
and learn, my
yeah,
friend.
yeah, exactly. You learn, you live and you learn. But yeah,
speaking of living and learning, Jesse,
yeah,
I was actually, you reminded me on the on the dead recording, you were talking about Fortnite,
yeah.
and I should mention this now. I was showing my nephew's super into Fortnite, and we play sometimes together, and
Okay.
I showed him an old episode of Royale with Cheese, and he's like, whoa, like, cause he only knows the legend of chapter 1 of Fortnite, cause
Yeah,
he's 10. He wasn't allowed to play in 2017 or whatever.
yeah.
So, he's like, you guys are OG, you guys have all these things. And I'm like, I don't know what any of this means. We were just playing because we didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah. It was
He's like,
something to play that was multiplayer that we could do, that was free,
yeah. And
pretty much.
he was like, whoa, the island looks so different. I'm like, I don't know. It all looks the same to me still.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, no, it has changed a lot. Like, I mean, every year it changes quite a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, yeah, you're mentioning that. Yeah, like I definitely enjoy playing it. I mean, we should go back to it sometime, like
Yeah.
I don't, I'm
Yeah.
up for it.
Yeah. It's fun. I make him play no build mode though, so
Yep.
because I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna go up against these like 6-year-olds that, just build around me, a castle around me or whatever in 2 seconds, and I have no idea what's going on.
No shooting skills whatsoever. They just try to trick you. So,
Yeah.
dude, by the time I whip out like a wooden wall or whatever, there's like a whole city block built, and I'm like, what are you guys doing? What's happening? If you want to be a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/bossrushmedia and find out which tier is right for you. Our Patreon producers at the $5 tier or higher for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dirrig, Francisco Santillan, and Rebecca Jewell. Thank you for your continued support.
It's too much. You can't teach an old dog new tricks.
That's true. It's true. But anyways, Jesse, you play anything fun? You play anything cool?
Yeah. There's this game called Stray. I don't know if you guys have heard about it or talked about it.
Hold up, wait a minute.
No, you said that I could talk about it.
Yeah, you know what? Now I think I really am invoking that law now.
Ron, no, that is unfair, and that's discrimination against the feline race. Okay, no.
I can't help it because I'm team canine. I can't help that.
You're catsist.
Yes, cat sis,
Yes,
okay?
I am. Yeah.
He's just hating because there's a very well done game about being a cat. If they made one that was with dogs, he wouldn't have a problem talking about it, would he?
Hey,
No.
I'm playing a game where I have both a cat and a dog with me all the time.
Oh, speaking of, there's a dog in Destiny now, and you can go up to it and pet it.
Nice.
But it's a robot dog, and his name is Protocol.
Aww.
Protocol?
Yeah, and he sits in the helm, and you can go up to him and pet him.
Nice.
But Jesse, go ahead. Talk to us about Stray.
Yeah. No, I brought that up just to get a rise out of you.
I don't hate the game. I don't hate the
No.
game, but I love upsetting the people that love the game.
It is fun, but yeah, I've been mostly I've been playing Modern Warfare 2 online, kind of getting back, to playing a Call of Duty game online again. It's been a while because I did get, I think, one of the last couple, but I think I played it for maybe a month and I gave up on it. I think it was the first one that had the 1x upgrades, like, so you could play in 4K and all that, and the graphics and everything would just go wonky and it would just look really, really bad. And so I couldn't play it. It just was, something was wrong with it, and it just wasn't doing what it was supposed to do, and it didn't look good. And so I kind of just gave up on it. But yeah, since then, yeah, I got into the Modern Warfare 2 game and been playing that quite a bit. And then I finally got Kena Bridge of Spirits for my PS5. And I've been playing that because I had it on PC, but I want to play on consoles, like I've always been a console person. Like the only time that I really got into PC is when consoles couldn't play the games that I was playing on my PC. Like they couldn't really play like Unreal Tournament, and with the really good graphics, and like those games you could download skins or whatever to put over your characters and make them look like whatever you wanted. The stuff that people made, mods or whatever. So yeah, so that's kind of mostly what I've been playing, and we talked about Fortnite a little bit. I do that with my kids a lot, so because now we got a Series S as well as the Series X, and the kids got the Series S, and one plays on that, one plays on my PS5, and then I play on my Series X, and we play Fortnite together. So, but yeah, that's mostly what I've been playing.
Nice. I want to play. What is it? Kena? I don't know.
Kena.
Yeah, I always.
Kena.
Yeah. Anyways, I want to play that game. I think it looks amazing.
Yeah.
But I want to, because I just got a PS5 a couple weeks ago, month ago, 2 months ago, I don't know, sometime in the last whatever. And I want to play God of War and Horizon. I'm trying to play God of War right now. But Kana's on the list.
Yeah, did they? I guess I'll be honest. A little behind the scenes here. I have really fallen out of the video game world quite a bit in this last year. I mean, I do play games, but I just, like when I was podcasting regularly, obviously I would try to keep up with everything, and I just really haven't. But like I've been noticing though, like at least by me, like what was it? I went into Best Buy, or I think it was December 22nd or 21st, and they had like 12 or 13 PS5s there. And I'm like this is after Black Friday. This is, like, how did they have all? Have they talked about like upping their production or whatever quite a bit this year, like at the end of the year?
Sony did put out a disclaimer that this is going to be a good that the past holiday season is going to be a good time to get a PlayStation 5.
Nice.
Yeah, at CES, Jim Ryan came out and said that they are pretty sure that the shortage is over.
Okay, that's awesome.
So yeah, that was like,
I wonder who the hell they're working to death over in China and Japan.
Yeah,
the children. They promised them an extra cracker.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
Extra saltines a day.
Well, is it like the Apple places that make the Apple phones? Are they going to be installing safety nets for
Apple's
the people jumping over the?
Yeah, Apple is not. There's probably going to be a shortage on the next phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in parts of China, because of the whole COVID thing, like China screwed Apple up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I got my my Samsung S22 Ultra, so I'm good. I got
Good old Korean phone.
well, I always got the like my favorite were always the Note, and so now they don't make the Samsung Notes anymore. They
Wait! I thought the Note was back. I thought the
no
Note came back.
no they rolled all the features of the Note back into the S now, like the Ultra. Basically, I have a stylus phone. It's essentially, it looks almost exactly like the phone my Note that I traded in for it. It's just a little thicker than mine was, and it's got a 8K cameras on it.
Okay.
So
I could have sworn the Note was back because the Note was how I got into that's how I got into Android. I bought I got the Note 3, and that was my first Android phone after owning
yep, I had the 3 too. The
three
Note 3.
generations of iPhones.
Yeah, no,
And I haven't looked back since.
yeah, the 22 Ultra it's essentially it's a Note. It's
Yeah,
it's a
I've got the
Samsung.
I'm still rocking the 21 Plus.
Yeah.
I don't usually upgrade my phones until like there's a need to upgrade.
Yeah, I upgraded because I switched over from Verizon to Spectrum.
Mhm.
So Spectrum uses the Verizon towers, and right now for internet and my phone, I'm gonna be paying $80 a month, and
Oh, not bad.
that's half of what I was paying just for my phone through
Yeah.
Verizon a month. It's ridiculous. $160 for my phone I was paying a month through
Wow.
Verizon. Yeah. It's disgusting. So,
Oh, they'll get you.
yeah.
So, LeRon, you playing anything?
The Callisto Protocol.
How's that? How's it going?
It's going. It's fun. It's fun. I'm enjoying myself. As a matter of fact, I was playing a little bit of it before we even started the recording. Because I had a little bit of downtime. I'm inching closer and closer to beating the game. And yes, I have been taking my time because the game's been out officially for over a month now. But I'm just kind of like padding my time as I get ready for my next game, which we'll be talking about a little bit later
Dun dun
in the
dun.
show. But I discovered that just like how the creators Striking Distance back when they were Visceral Games or EA Redwood, but back when they first created the original Dead Space game, how they had like a campaign where they were bringing out expansion content, to like kind of get you into the world and the lore.
Mm-hmm.
There was a podcast. There was a 6-part podcast for the Callisto Protocol called Helix Station that's you can listen to on Spotify. I had no idea this was out before the game came out because they released the episodes on not merely a weekly basis, but they kind of sprinkled it out in the run up the month before the game came out. And it's a complete audio podcast. They've got Gwendolyn Christie voicing the main character. Her name is Percy. You've also got Michael Ironside in it, as well as Sam Witwer is he reprises his role from the Callisto Protocol game. And then you've got some other notable actors like Leland Orser and a few others and stuff like that. And let me tell you,
It's quite a cast.
the episodes, huh?
It's quite a cast.
Yeah, it's a good cast. Yeah, it's a good voice cast, and the production value is amazing. I was engrossed in it. Like I've been listening to it for days now. Like I've already listened to the whole series, and I just started listening to it again.
So is that a prequel or something you're supposed to listen to?
It's a prequel. It's a prequel. You can either call it a prequel. It's not a direct prequel. Let's just say it like that. But it basically sets up the lore for the Callisto Protocol's universe.
Huh.
No.
Yeah, and it's really good. Like the episodes are they're not even 30 minutes long. So like they're between 20 and 30 minutes. But all the episodes you can listen to it all in one day. Like I was listening to it like I just needed something to do while I was driving to like a job site that was like 45 minutes away. So I just started listening to the first episode, and I was hooked. So just imagine listening to it in a car, in a car stereo with a car stereo system and all that stuff. Oh man, like it was amazing. And a cool bonus or side effect of this, it actually made me pick up a notebook and a pen, and it actually had me start writing down some ideas for stories.
Wow.
So that was an unexpected bonus. It actually got the juices flowing for me to want to write something.
Nice.
Now
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah,
one.
so-
That's the one that's supposed to be from the creators of Dead Space, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
That I
Yeah, the
thought so,
Callisto
but I
Protocol
couldn't
itself.
remember.
Yeah, the Callisto Protocol itself is a fun game, but like I've said time and time again, like don't go in there thinking this is like Dead Space 4 or something like that. And I think that's where a lot of people got their hangups at because it minimally feels like a Dead Space game. Like, yeah, the horror is there, the jump scares are there and stuff like that, but like the combat's different. Like shit, I kind of wish Isaac had some of this combat like in the Dead Space series, but yeah, it's fun. I've finally gotten to some areas that are frustrating because like boss battles are getting frustrating now to where like as a matter of fact, I just beat a boss that I actually had to stop on the previous night because like I was just getting frustrated. And it was more like you really need to learn how to manage the enemies. Just like how I was preaching back before the end of the year, that like the main problem that most people were complaining about on the internet about the Callisto Protocol is that they get mobbed by the enemies. You've got so many tools and stuff like you honestly, there's no reason why you're getting mobbed. But my problem is that I was getting jumped by one of the lesser monsters while I'm fighting a boss, and that was frustrating me. Yeah, my major feat before we started recording the podcast tonight was I beat that boss. And I'm not going to say anything about the boss because if I say anything about the boss, like to our listeners, they'll already know something about later on in the game. So that's all I'm going to say. But yeah, the game's fun. I'm enjoying it. Like I'm definitely looking forward to the because I have bought the deluxe edition that has the season's pass and stuff. So I'm definitely looking forward to like when they put the expansion content out for this game and add some more stuff to it. And I have a good feeling about this. I think they're going to get a sequel. I think they are.
Nice. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna. One of the things, like, so is it just like with the bosses? Do you have like weak points and things you gotta like? Is it something like that makes it difficult, or
every big bad I've encountered is just bullet sponges. That's really it. It's not like in Dead Space where like like you have like the glowing parts of their body, which is basically a weak spot. I don't see anything as a bona fide weak spot. And this game also has a nice stealth element, but I feel like I've wasted a lot of my time in this game doing the stealthy stuff. But it's because stealth is the best way to manage your inventory. If you stealth kill something in this game, like it's an instant death. And the cool thing about it is you can stealth kill a bad guy in a room full of bad guys, and they won't spot you. I literally stealth killed like some of the bad guys, like standing right next to another one, and nothing happened to me, except I got the rewards for killing the bad guy.
Nice.
Yes. So
I hear that game is like a sequel. It would be like almost like an Assassin's Creed type thing where like the first one was good, but the sequel would like expand on those ideas and kind of knock it out of the park.
Well, that's what Dead Space did.
Yeah.
yeah.
And Dead Space 1 was already a phenomenal game. Like it kind of revolutionized what Resident Evil 4 had originally set out to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean they a lot of the times those first games will kind of feel like a selling point. It's like, okay, if we can get you hooked with the basics of what we want to do with this game, then yeah, expand on the second one and and then like get a bigger amount of money to play with and things like that.
Well, I also need to give a shout out to Striking Distance Studios because, like, I was one of the people that was infinitely frustrated with the game when it rolled out because the game rolled out with issues, whether it was across consoles or the PC, and I had the PC version. The PC version was horribly optimized. Like, you didn't have shader cache. You didn't have shader cache pre-rendered, anything like that. And for people that's wondering, shader cache basically is the graphical asset, so your game plays smoothly as you go transition from place to place. and it already has like everything loaded up for you, past your loading screens, of course, but yeah, there was that issue. Like there was just some other things. But striking distance, they paid attention to all that stuff, and it's one of those things. Like I understand when you look at the timing of when the game came out, I understand why they put it out when they did, because there's something else looming on the horizon that they did not want to compete with. But at the same time, it goes back to my age old thing. Like, don't release a game if it's fucking incomplete. And I'm not saying that Callisto Protocol was incomplete. It just they just cause more hate and discontent than necessary. And then I'm hearing, then of course, like because Glenn Schofield, who's the lead and the director for the game, he's talking to us, about like what they've encountered in the development process, and they basically said a line of code is what screwed up a lot of the things with the launch. And I'm like, come on, man, be better. Like, how long you guys been doing this? It's one of those things. Like it's last minute QA is like. I work in IT, and I know I know what it's like when like you don't double check your work. It's pain and headaches, and they're dealing with those headaches. So yeah. But other than that, like the game has been rock solid since like the patches and the updates. Like like a lot of things, a lot of quality of life stuff got introduced on the back end, which was crazy because like one of the major complaints was, and it wasn't really a complaint from me, but it was a complaint from gamers, is that to heal yourself, you use these things called health injectors. And the animation for the health injector was so slow that if you do it at a critical time, like if you're getting mobbed by bad guys, you're dead. But I took that as a challenge because I was like, oh, I'm about to die. That means I need to play harder. And then I didn't even know the patch had happened. Like I loaded the game up and I was like loading shaders. And I was like compiling shaders. I was like, oh shit, there's an update. So and then I looked it up real quick and they're like, like Jacob's healing animations is a lot faster now. Reload's a lot faster. Like they tweak some of the dodge mechanics and all that stuff. And I was like, oh shit, like this plays like a different game now. Because my roommate, he was talking to me tonight, and he was like, man, that game was good, but it took him forever to fucking heal. And I was like, oh, that's not a problem now. They patched it. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, you literally can heal yourself in the middle of a fight now.
Nice. Yeah, I want to play that.
It's fun. It's fun.
Is it on console though? Too?
Is on all major consoles and the PC.
Okay. They recommend you play it on PlayStation 5 though, because PlayStation had a heavy they provided their XDev team to help develop the game. And supposedly, I don't know how it runs after the patches or whatnot, but like supposedly the PlayStation 5 is the best version, is from what I'm hearing.
Do they have like? Did they put like the haptic feedback and all that stuff? Like, is it like stuff like that where it's?
I'm pretty sure it's in there.
Okay. Yeah, it's in there. It's totally in there. It's in the PC.
Yeah,
version.
I don't know because I'm playing the PC version. Even though I played a PC version with a PlayStation 5 controller, I noticed I do get a little bit of a pushback on the triggers.
Okay.
Yeah, you should. I mean, I thought the haptic stuff was in the PC version if you play with a PS5 controller, but I'm not sure.
Well, it's kind of screwball though, because like even if you're playing with a PlayStation controller, it still has like the Xbox like icons.
Yeah. Well, you gotta know your Xbox controller there, LeRon.
Oh, you gotta know your PlayStation controller.
True. Who knows?
I don't get confused like that, honestly. Like there are certain games like I cannot play Monster Hunter Sunbreak, with those Xbox controls on, but I'm glad Capcom put an interface switcher in there so like you can change it and say, hey, this is PlayStation controls.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like it's just a one little tweak that that companies can do, and I guarantee you it's not even gonna like cause them to spend like super amount of money.
Yeah. I get that way with God of War though, because sometimes it says press X and I'll press the Xbox X and not. So.
Yeah, so it looks like you need to know your way around your PlayStation controller.
Yeah, I'm not going to use it that much, so it's fine. Is that all you've been playing?
That's it for me. I've been listening to the Callisto Protocol Helix Station, which I recommend. I say 9 out of 10 on that. It's good.
Nice.
It's good. There, I mean, it'll definitely fill your imagination, especially if you listen to it in like immersive sound, like whether it's with your headphones on or with a stereo system or whatnot. It's good. The voice acting's really well. Like like with all the sound effects and everything. Like it feels like you're just one step beyond watching a movie. Well,
Nice.
one step away from watching a movie. Like it's good. It's good. And of course, like Michael Ironside, like actually doing some voice acting when we know like his road has been rough, because he had throat cancer.
Yep. And that's
Yeah,
why he wasn't in the last Splinter Cell game.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it was great. It was great that to hear good old Sam Fisher. Sam Fisher, if you're a Splinter Cell guy, or Darkseid if you're a Justice League person.
Yeah.
Yeah, he voiced Darkseid in the Justice League animated series.
I did not know that.
Yeah, because I'm a nerd.
Nerd. Stephanie, what are you playing?
I actually got to play a decent amount of games the last few weeks. So, out of the main three, I played early access of Exodiac. Um, I didn't talk about this last week, right? Because I'm starting to realize. Okay, Exodiac. So it is a love letter to the SNES Star Fox and Star Fox 64. It is
Oh, nice.
awesome. I highly recommend you check it out. I believe it's on Switch, but I played it on my Steam Deck. Indie, built by I think just one guy, honestly, and similar premise. I think there's about 6 planets or 6 levels that you play through on rails, low poly shooter. Plays a lot like Star Fox, looks a lot like Star Fox. Characters are different, but it just really. I wanted to play something that reminded me of Star Fox. I've been without a good Star Fox game in a long time. So if you like old school Star Fox, play Exodiac. It's great. The downside is there are branching paths. In Star Fox 64, if you do certain maneuvers, you can go to different planets. I'm hoping maybe we might see that option when it's out of early access. We'll see. Um, the combat is more challenging, I think, actually, but the downside is while I'm trying not to get murdered by all the enemies, there's dialogue going down below, and it's not voice acted, which is fine, but I can't end up reading anything because I'm too busy trying not to die. Um,
Boo.
so I did miss out on some of the lore because of it. So those are kind of like my primary complaints. I've seen some people mention on Steam that the controls are a bit like lofty. I don't know what the right word is, but I don't know, seems fine to me. So I can't wait for more content to be released, but I highly recommend Exodiac. I wrote a review on it that's going to be published on Sunday, the 15th. And the next one is Lonesome Village. It is also a indie game by Ogre Pixel. It reminded me a little bit like Zelda and Tunic because you play as like a fox and you're in a blue tunic, and I'm like, okay, here we go. Here's another Zelda like I can play. But it's not really like neither. There's no combat. The premise is you arrive or you belong to a village where all the residents vanished, and this gigantic tower appears out of nowhere. Kind of like a tower in Breath of the Wild. And like the symbol literally looks like a Sheikah eye. It's crazy. Um, but in this case, instead of fighting enemies, every level of the tower, you just go and defeat a puzzle. Like you have to, figure something out, a little puzzle. You get a small item, you place the item on the altar, and you release a villager that was trapped there. So level by level, you save the villagers. You need to earn their gratitude to progress up certain levels. So you do little side quests. Eventually, you get stuff like what would be similar to, or akin to what do you call it? The Eye of Truth. Is it what's called? The Eye of Truth in Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, I think isn't it?
Yep. You
Yeah.
have a little
Don't get me to lying. I didn't play that game.
you get a musical instrument, you have a shovel, like, so it's very Zelda like, just minus the combat. It's just a nice, fun, cozy game, and I honestly have no complaints about it. It's a lot of fun. So also Lonesome Village I recommend. And then last but not least, I am playing The Last of Us Part 1, the remake, to prepare for the show that's premiering on Sunday. So I just arrived in, is it Lincoln? I forget the town, but where Bill's town is. So I'm pretty sure that'll get me to the first episode. Not that I know what the first episode will be, but I would say it's a safe bet that I've covered enough. So it's nice. The graphics are just
Wait. What have you done?
in The Last of Us Part 1.
What's the major thing you've done?
The last major thing that I've done.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I took Ellie out of Boston. Like
Okay.
what's her face died. We made our way out of the state capital,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Uh-huh.
we just met Bill. Like just
Okay.
met
All
him.
right. That's what I need to know. Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I was like, well, no, that game the game's milestones are marked by like major, like when you get to major cinematic scenes, that's a milestone for the game.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That's how you know the plot is progressing.
Okay. So yeah, so that's
Yeah.
that. I think it's a safe point for the show. We'll see. I really do like the remake. Graphics are gorgeous. I'm playing on medium difficulty. Um, I'm doing pretty better at it, but I've played it before, so it's just a lot of fun to replay this game.
Nice.
How about you,
Nice.
Corey?
I played a lot of Destiny's Iron Banner over the weekend. It's kind of a competitive multiplayer mode that grants you cool armor and weapons and stuff. I don't usually play this mode because I'm not a huge competitive multiplayer person, especially in Destiny. It's kind of like, it's kind of like a tacked on mode at this point. There hasn't been a new multiplayer map in almost 3 years, so it's like it's just kind of there. But Iron Banner is cool because they added a new mode called Fortress, which is basically just zone control, but like there's a timer, and once the timer counts down, there's like a big kind of there's a flag in the middle that's protected by these turrets, and it turns into like your team versus their team versus these turrets, and whoever can capture that flag first kind of can capture the point, and then you kind of have to hold the point for I think 2 minutes or something. And it's super cool. It was a super cool mode, but the reason why I started playing it is because they brought back an armor set that I really loved in Destiny 1, the Iron Wolf set, and it's like it's just a really iconic set of armor from Destiny 1, and I got all the pieces for one character except for the mark. So on a Titan, it's like the joke is it's a bath towel, and like I didn't get that, but it was fun. I also sat down and played a couple hours of God of War. I'm really at this point muscling my way through that game. I am so bored. Like
Really, still?
I'm my in-game timer is at 18 hours. I think it's like a 35 or 40 hour game.
Ooh.
I am so bored. I'm so bored. I don't know how else to explain it. It's just like I wish it was better. But
You don't have to like every game. Like at this point, like, do you really feel like you have to quote unquote finish the game? You got a long
yes,
way to
because
go.
I've finished every God of War game. I am
Oh.
invested in Kratos. And I need to see what happens, because like the story's not the problem. It's the constant like I'm gonna get to play the game for like 3 minutes, and then I have to lift up a rock, or I have to shimmy through a hallway, or I have to talk to someone for 15 minutes. I want to play the game. Just let me play the
Wow.
game.
So it's
And
really just breaking up the pacing, right?
yeah, the pacing is terrible. And like again, like I said during our game of the year discussion, like when I was listening to the interview with the director of the game, like he said he plans everything out through a spreadsheet, and like I can't get that thought out of my head either, to the point where like the lines on the ground, like they're basically even like where to climb and stuff is like literally chalk outlines on the ground and on the walls to where to climb, and it's like, oh my gosh,
Mm.
I don't this I don't know, but I'm invested in the story. Like I want to see where it goes. So to give context without spoiling anything, I'm in the second part of where you play as Kratos and Freya. That's how far I am without spoiling anything, and I'm riding the dog sled around this area trying to find a certain group of people. So but I'm just bored. And like last night I had my kids went to bed early. My wife was sick, so she went to bed kind of early. I had like 3 or 4 hours to sit down and play. I played an hour and a half and I turned it off and started playing something else. Like I just I don't know. I wish I was more driven to finish this game, but I'm just kind of like not.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
also I hate playing as Atreus.
Is he still being a snot bag?
God, he's such a shitbag, man. I just I don't. I like the girl companion though that's with him sometimes. Agabola, is that her name? I think that's her name. Um, but I just finished the part where like you're with Thor for the first time with him, and it's just kind of like, oh my gosh, this is like I'm sitting here like fighting like one guy. And there's like 15 guys. I'm like, yes, I'm gonna get to fight all these guys. I'm finally get to play. And then Thor just throws his hammer at all of them, and they're all dead. And I have to go talk to Thor and walk around some more. I'm like, what? Why? What was the point of this? You know?
Yeah, and like, cause I've kind of heard people talk about it since it's come out. There's definitely people that feel like you about it,
Yeah,
and
Mm.
then there's people that had no problem with it. Um, and I think it's just one of those things where like even for me, when I try to play very very story driven games, there has to be, the pacing has to be just right, because my attention span is so short that
yeah,
if it's not pleasing to my attention span, chances are I will never finish that game. And like,
yeah.
but
Mm.
some people, that's not a problem, and that's,
Hmm.
I'm glad that there's a lot of people who were able to enjoy it. But yeah, like when I hear people or you talk about it, I'm just like, man, I'm already not super into the lore of it, but to even think about trying to play that game, I don't think I'd be able to make it through it either. But again,
Yeah,
that's me, that's just me though. So
yeah. I mean, the thing is, it's like it's fun. Like when you actually like playing the game and in the combat, it's
yeah.
fun, right? Like it's really fun.
Hmm.
But I don't understand why it's so few and far between in a game that is like. And to be fair though, like I thought the last one was good, not great, right? Like it was good, wasn't great, but this one is way worse than the last one,
Oof.
in my opinion. Also, like I hate Thor. I think Thor kind of sucks. I think the portrayal of Odin is like awful. Like I don't know if they're trying a comedy angle or something, but I'm not into it.
Mm.
So I don't know. It I'm going to finish it because I have to finish it now, but like it's not it's not doing it for me.
Well, LeRon has something to say to you.
He does. He's raising his hand.
Uh, you, I wonder because I hear a lot. I hear a lot of these sentiments about like like the portrayals of like the characters and stuff in God of War Ragnarok, and I'm really curious. Like, are are people basing it off of the expectations from, I don't know, like the MCU? Are they basing it off of their expectations
No,
from whatever they heard about in Norse mythology? Like, what is it? What is it about? Like,
no, because I'm
when
like
what is it?
I don't
Hang
really
on,
like
hang on,
Thor.
hang on, hang on, hang on. What is it about the creative process that people always have a problem when, like, when like a creator has a different take on it, like
No,
a character.
it's not that the characters are like written badly. It just feels like each set of characters were written by a different set of writers, and none of them like talk to each other about, okay, well, this is kind of like, we're gonna be kind of serious but kind of not. Like the dwarves feel like they're written for a straight up comedy angle. Kratos is like dead serious, which is like, I like that. I think that's what I wish the whole game was taking itself seriously. Freya is like a little kind of over dramatic about stuff, right? Like she always feels like something is super dramatic. Atreus is a shit bag. And then like you get to Thor and Odin, and they're just kind of like, I don't know. Odin is kind of like, ugh, like frantic about everything, and it's just kind of like, I. It just feels like none of the characters were written cohesively, and I get that like characters have to have different personalities, and I'm not even comparing it to the MCU because I don't even really care about Thor in the MCU either. Like I don't, whatever. It's just like it just feels like all these characters, all these major players were written by different people, and they didn't talk to each other about how to kind of write them to fit together. It
Cohesive.
just feels like none of them have chemistry. It feels like none of them are cohesive. Like they feel like characters from different games shoved into one game.
Hmm.
Which I guess like kind of makes sense in the grand scheme of things because Kratos is a man out of time and out of place, right? But like, I don't know. Kratos is definitely my favorite character in the game. And
I think Kratos was designed to be everybody's favorite character by default because like
I don't
let's just look at this for what this is. Like we've got three major God of War games. Then we got the two games for the PSP, which were side story / continuations of that. We have God of War, the whatever that Prelude game was, all this stuff. So everybody knows that this is Kratos, even in this new incarnation and stuff like that. That's the way I think it is. Like people were going to play God of War as soon as they found out the 2018 God of War. As soon as they found out it was Kratos. Like they were going to do that.
Yeah.
But we're in a different land, we're in a different realm, we're in a different time, and stuff like that.
Well, I think that part's cool though. Like that's cool. That part's cool. It's just
and why does every god have to be magnanimous? I mean, shit. Like this is the realm where we have Loki. I think some of these gods are more pranksters than anything else.
Yeah. Well, Loki sucks.
You're saying that because you hate Atreus. That's why.
I know
You're
Atreus fucking sucks. God, I hate Atreus. I hope he dies.
Dude, you're raising a boy. Like, get ready.
I know.
Get ready.
He's gonna suck too for like
Get ready
5
for
to 12 years of his
All
life.
right, we're all gonna be quiet because I have a son too. Shh.
So,
no, Nico's a sweetheart.
But
Fingers crossed.
I also played a bunch of Vampire Survivors, which is awesome. And I played some more Horizon because I just can't wait to play that game. And oh my gosh, dude, that game is infinitely better than God of War. That I fucking love that game.
By the way, Corey, I only asked the questions I asked because anybody that knows me now knows I kind of two sides everything because it's just by nature. I play devil's advocate.
I know.
And stuff like that.
I've known you for 2 years now? 3 years?
I was not trying to argue with you or anything like that. It was more like I was just trying to challenge a precept.
I know, and it's not. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I could talk about because, and I'm not coming from a place where like, oh, this game should be like the other ones. It does. The old games were great for the time, right? But they needed to evolve, and I actually like really liked the idea.
Says the guy who the game said he wasn't into the game until he got the Blades of Chaos.
Yeah, well, I don't like how slow the axe is. Also, that's another annoying thing is like every character solves the puzzles for you before you like even walk in the room.
Yeah.
Like you were gone, LeRon, but I was ranting about like how I like the combat in this game, except I don't only get to do it for like 30 seconds at a time, and then I have to listen to somebody talk for 15 minutes or shimmy through a wall, or a cutscene happens, or I'm riding a large moose through the water.
Here's the way I feel about this. I think I think the reason why they shoehorned all this dialogue into the game is because they decided that they were not going to make it a trilogy and decided to make it a duology.
And that's exactly what it feels like. It feels like a game that should have been 2 games. Like, I feel like, if anything, this was the series you could have made 3 games out of, and you could have, like, gotten them out. You could have gotten a second game out like a year and a half ago, and then in 2 years you could have gotten out the third game, and it could have been like super cool. But I don't know. Yeah, God of War.
That's just my take.
No, I get it, and like I said, I'm gonna finish it because I'm invested in Kratos. I've been invested in Kratos for 20 years, and I need to see how this game ends and see what happens next. But like, I haven't been spoiled, shockingly, about the end of the game. But if Kratos dies at the end, I might probably just skip the next one. But if he doesn't, then I will be.
Kratos was supposed to have died the last series.
I know. I watched it.
The way that the way that ending happened, like we already kind of know what Santa Monica Studios' plan is for him. They're planning on taking him through the eras. They're like basically the same way he's killing the gods, the same way we're metaphorically killing our gods as we go from generation to generation.
Yeah, and I think that's fine, right? Like, I think it would be cool to take him through the pantheon of gods, but I'm ready for this to be over, which kind of sucks because I actually like the premise and the setting. So, but Horizon, back to Horizon, man, what a game! The animations, the combat, the traversal. Oh,
What a change in tone here.
oh, what a game! Aloy's the best. Horizon, top tier PlayStation. Okay. Here, I'm going to put it this way. Horizon, worth the $400. God of War,
Oh.
not worth the $400. Ghost of Tsushima is next on my list.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, I'm still working on that game. I got the PS5 upgrades, and stuff for it. But
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah. I got the Horizon with I got that bundle, so I haven't touched it though yet.
Yeah,
So.
that's the bundle I wanted, and I couldn't find it, so I got the God of War one. I'm like, well, I'll play that too anyway. But anyways, let's shift gears because we talked about God of War way longer than I anticipated.
I feel like the "What Are We Playing" section was too long, but that's just me.
LeRon, you can run your own podcast.
Ooh. Well, we had a lot to catch up on. It's okay.
Well, no. I say that I say that like I say that with all sorts of love because like on Crossroads we run into that problem too.
Well,
Like,
it wasn't
what
meant
are
to
we
be that long. We just got in a really good conversation about God of War, and
if Crossroads is a 2-hour show, the first hour is usually what are we playing, and I'm like man, like people are gonna check out.
Oh well, that's fine. They'll check out. So we're going to talk about our most anticipated games here. We've all picked 5. Just to kind of talk about because 2023 is shaping up to be a big year, and yeah, it's oh my gosh, this year is gonna have so many games. There are so many games.
Unless there are delays. Not that I was anticipating this, but isn't like, for example, Skull and Bones got delayed already. So.
Skull and Bones stays delayed.
That game doesn't count. That game
okay, just saying.
That and Sea of Thieves. For some strange reason, those pirate games stay fucking delayed. I don't get it.
Well, yeah, I mean, at this point, Skull and Bones, wasn't that supposed to come out like 5 years ago? Well, not really, but like a couple of years ago. Anyways, wasn't it supposed to come out like around the same time?
It was announced in 2017. It was supposed to come out in 2018 or 2019.
Yeah.
And here we are, 2023. It's been in development since 2013, so that should tell you.
Yeah.
Just
everything you need to
saying.
know.
We were saying that 2022 was a stacked year. What could happen? I'm not trying to be negative.
no.
I still think 2023 will be.
No, 2023 is to use a WWE term. 2023 is going to be a slobber knocker.
Ooh, wow. Let's talk about what will slob our knobs. Let's go.
So I'm gonna go first because LeRon yelled at me for talking too long, so I'm gonna keep talking.
Wait, quick question. Does it have to be in a particular order, or are we just like
No, it
randomly?
doesn't matter.
Okay,
It
cool.
doesn't matter. I have mine written down. I'm just gonna read them as I wrote them down. Fire Emblem Engage. Uh, can't wait for that game. I watched the 9-minute trailer preview thing that they put out the other day, and like, man, some of the stuff that comes out on Switch looks like trash. This game makes me think we don't need another console. This game looks amazing. Looks gorgeous. It's running at 60 frames a second, like high fidelity graphics. Like all the maps are 3D animated. Like there's cutscenes and customization, and just this game looks incredible. And I'm just like, man, there's just like Nintendo really knows how to use their hardware. That's all I'm saying, and nobody else does, and nobody else ever will. And it's just really sad because I am tired of looking at these third-party games on the Switch, and they look like, Atreus, and that's code for shit stains. And then you get something like this, and it looks incredible. So, man, I don't know. Fire Emblem Engage looks awesome though.
Well, I was gonna say though, is this like I think though like a lot of this though because of the new Unreal Engine, or are they not using
No,
Unreal?
this is Intelligent System is using their own engine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know with Unreal Engine, like the newer one, we're supposed to potentially be
Yeah,
able
but
to
the
do
only game
more with
using
Wait,
less.
does Unreal even run on the Switch?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Fortnite uses Unreal Engine 5 on the Switch.
Okay.
So
yeah,
it's supposed to be extremely scalable,
yeah.
is what they've said. So who knows?
Well, is a lot of the stuff is being done in program versus using the hardware or something like that. I thought is what they kind of like.
Yeah, well,
You're talking about intelligent systems.
yeah, a little history about Intelligent Systems. Nintendo originally purchased them because they are an engine building company, and the original Fire Emblem was their test bed for an engine for NES.
Okay.
Wait. The old school Fire Emblem?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And then like they would just use Fire Emblem as like a proof of concept for their engine, and then Nintendo would, use the engines from Intelligent Systems to make their games run better or take notes for their own engines or whatever. So and then obviously they went on to make like Paper Mario and Advance Wars and Codename Steam.
So those
and
guys are
more.
getting paid.
Yeah. So yeah, Fire Emblem Engage looks amazing. It looks incredible. So Jesse, what are you looking forward to?
All right. Actually, hold on 1 second. I had it pulled up. I don't know where it went.
Must not be too excited.
Stephanie, go.
Okay, so I'll go.
LeRon's trying to get out of here.
I'll go with my serious ones, and then I'll toss in a bonus. But Gunbrella is one of the indies that I'm looking forward to.
What is that?
Yes, LeRon, Gunbrella. You have a gun, no, an umbrella that is also a gun. And you guessed it, it's a Devolver Digital title. Come on, what else do you expect? Looks really
Penguin.
fun, fast pace, 2D, shooter. Basically looks like a lot of fun with a crazy premise. So I'm big on indies. I probably play more indies and AAA titles during the year. So that's kind of one of the top indies that I'm looking forward to. So
Nice.
yeah.
I can go then. I have mine pulled up. So
Right.
I put them in order just because of. So my number 5 I have Forspoken. So
Have you played the demo?
no, I haven't yet actually. I'm
Yeah.
kind of like I wanna, but at the same time I kind of just want to wait and just play the full game when it
Yeah,
comes out.
I haven't, but
Squeenix.
oh, go ahead, Noran.
I was just gonna say Squeenix still hasn't sold me on it yet.
Squeenix.
Yeah.
I think Pat from EXP Cast played the demo. He wasn't impressed by it, not because he thinks the game's gonna be bad, but I think the way they shared set up the demo really wasn't that great because you're thrown like in the middle of I don't know something, and there's just a lot to
Yeah,
get used to.
I was on that show with you guys. Yeah, I remember him saying that.
Well, the first like the first part of the demo is basically almost like an obstacle course. They kind of train you how to use all the moves, and then they just let you go into the world.
Okay.
So
Yeah, so maybe I just will stay away from it.
I,
I don't know,
I,
from the
I mean,
demo.
I mean,
Yeah.
the combat's okay. Like it's fun. I bet it's one of those combat systems. Like as you level it up and kind of learn how to,
Yeah, it'll
the
get
minutia of
better.
the combat, it gets really cool.
Mhm.
But
That's
I
coming
mean,
out soon, right?
yeah, February,
Yeah, next
second week of
month.
February,
Yeah.
third week of February.
Yeah.
So yeah, cool.
Yeah, I kind of with mine just a little behind the scenes. I wanted to pick like, one of the bigger ones for each console, and then I had, some two extra ones, but yeah,
Yeah,
that's the one I'm definitely looking forward to for PS5.
cool. LeRon.
All right, so one of my most anticipated games is a game that I'm finally going to take seriously after 18 years. And that's the Resident Evil 4 remake.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm finally going to sit down and play Resident Evil 4. Andre and Stoy are giving me all sorts of hell. They're telling me I should play the original game before I play this remake, and I'm like, nah, fuck that. I'm playing a remake because I just had no desire. I tried to play the original Resident Evil 4 back when it was on GameCube, and I just had no desire to continue playing it.
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah, that
oh, go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say, yeah, that's actually my number four. But as someone who played through the original and just didn't really care for it, um, I'm kind of hoping that this brings me around, because I really like I know Ed, he like gets all worked up when I talk about how I hated that game, but like I want to love that game. Like I there are a lot of aspects of the original, like the story and stuff, that I do love. It's just I think I had a problem with it because that was kind of when they first stepped away from zombies, and it just felt more like crazy people.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like the story. There is just parts of it that I didn't care for, and that just I didn't love it, But I'm hoping that this remake will maybe pull me in the direction of it, because they've just did so well with the remake so far. Like all the remakes, in my opinion, have been better than the originals, which doesn't happen very often. So yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to that one too.
Nice.
nice. Oh, I guess I'm next. Final Fantasy 16 looks really cool. That setting, it just seems like it seems like that Square really knows what they want to do right now with their strategy, right? I feel like they've wanted to offload their Western arm for a long time and really focus on what they are good at, and that is strong Japanese role playing games. And man, between this and Final Fantasy 7 remake, like they've got some really heavy hitters coming out this year, and Final Fantasy 16 looks awesome. Like it's dark, it's kind of scary, it's got just all kinds of fire, and you know, it, I know these characters are in every single Final Fantasy, right? But like when they summon Ifrit for the first time, and that's in the trailer, like it brought back a lot of memories for me from when I played Final Fantasy 8 for the first time, and it's just I don't know. I'm really excited for that game, and really ready to see what the combat is like, what the party system's like, if there is a party system, where the hints and nods at old Final Fantasies are at, and how they kind of tackle like what does a chocobo look like in this world? What does a Moogle look like in this world? Are they even in this? Like, what does Sid look like in this game? I want to see the hallmarks in this world, and see how this game it differs. Plus, like what gives it a lot of promise too is the director of Final Fantasy 14 is doing this. The rebuild of Final Fantasy 14 is doing this, and most of their expansions. So, yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah, 16 is also on my list of most anticipated games, and you know, it's funny because when they first announced it, I was like, oh man, they're going back to the medieval stuff. I'm one of those people, just like how I scrutinized The Legend of Zelda for how it has evolved. Like I've always preferred Final Fantasy when it was a mixer of techno wizardry. So like them going back to the medieval style, I was like, oh man, I don't know if I'm going to be digging this, but the more trailers I've seen of it, the more I'm like, yes, I will be playing this game. It will most likely be a day one for me.
Mm-hmm.
Also, uh, the reason why I'm amped for this but not amped for Forspoken is because I feel like Square Enix only wants to take Final Fantasy seriously. It feels like it's the only thing that they want to do, and Square Enix even admitted, like, you know, they're weak with Western audiences and stuff like that, which is why I feel like there's not a lot that's going. I feel like there's not going to be a lot that's going to be brought to the table for Spoken, you know, because like they want to reach out to Western audiences, but they don't. I feel like they just don't put the drive and attention into like their Western stuff like they do with Final Fantasy, because they know Final Fantasy is going to sell like hotcakes over in the Eastern regions.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also in the Western regions, because like, you know, like uh us Americans, you know, being weeaboos and stuff, like we eat this stuff up. That's why Kingdom Hearts is a thing when Kingdom Hearts is trash.
Kingdom Hearts 4 though.
Mm,
Realistic Sora, he's got normal size shoes on. I'm concerned.
it's
He's
too
got
late.
some like early 2000s Airwalks on. So, Stephanie, or Jesse, what's your next game? Who's Stephanie? What next? Stephanie, what's your next game?
So yeah, I divided this. Oh wait, you know what? I didn't realize Resident Evil 4 remake was on my list. My bad. And LeRon, I'll be playing it like you, where I have not played the original and I don't intend on playing the original. I'm just gonna go in with a
Mhm.
fresh mindset, and I'm very much looking forward to it. I guess so. I'll guess that this will be my number 4. It's the same thing, RE4 remake. So
All right.
Nice.
Yeah, and I kind of talked about Resident Evil 4, but do you want me to just bring up a different game then?
Sure.
Because so I know, like everyone's kind of there's a big one coming out for Xbox that everyone's kind of been excited for. Um, but I'm really looking forward to Redfall. Like I know there's been some kind of contention with that game as well, where some people are excited about it, some people are just kind of like, they don't really know, but um I think for me, like I like the aspects of that game that kind of remind me of like the Left 4 Dead and stuff like that, but but it seems like it's going to be a little bit more like fast pace, and like like the having the cool characters. Like I really like the characters, like so far what I've seen of them in the trailers, and in the like some of the stuff that they've kind of got out there for you to watch. And I don't know, it just something about that game just seems like it's gonna be something like up my alley for the games that I like. When it comes to like the multiplayer stuff, and I it sounds like from a video or some stuff that I was watching, they had talked about it possibly being like quite a bit of an more open worldish kind of setting than what you're thinking, like what we were originally thinking, and kind of having like almost like you can do stuff with friends and everything, but you like I guess maybe more almost like a State of Decay, like kind of similar to like a State of Decay, but with vampires or whatever. um and like I just like some of the like just the vampires, like the way they move like really fast and quick, and you kind of it just it's a little bit seems a more challenging than going against your typical zombies and stuff like that in those kind of games that we've kind of got plenty of. So I'm looking forward to Redfall.
Yeah, the game looks cool. The fact that they kind of came out and said that it's more Far Cry than Left 4 Dead or
Yeah,
Borderlands made it
yeah,
really way more interesting for me
yeah,
than those.
yeah. Yeah, and I'm just interested in how like the different styles of the different characters and their weapons and the things they use, and like it's just a little bit more complex than your typical just team up, go against a whole bunch of hordes of things kind of thing that we're used to at this point. It feels different enough to stand out. So
Yep. LeRon.
Oh, it's back to me.
Yeah.
That's weird. I just wondered it was you next, but whatever. Marvel Spider-Man 2.
Hmm.
It's supposed to be coming out this year. They have not said a specific date for it yet, but it's supposed to be coming out this year, and I believe Insomniac will pull it off. There's not too much I can say about it, like the fact, besides the fact that like we're getting Venom this time in the game. I'm not sure if he's playable or whatnot, but we know for sure Miles Morales and Peter Parker will be tandem like heroes in this game and stuff like that. Like I'm excited. I can't wait.
Nice. I guess it's back to me. Star Wars Jedi Survivor looks awesome.
Mhm.
I really like that first game, and I think that game got better as you went. And I'm really
Yeah.
excited to see where this story goes, because it's 5 years after the original, and that trailer has some interesting, like, if you finish the game, has some interesting story aspects that you're like, whoa, what happened? Because when we left, you guys were all like high-fiving and being buddies, and now Cal Kestis is like scarred up and scruffy looking, and yeah, I'm just incredibly intrigued on where the story went and what happened in the last 5 years, and if Cal Kestis is going to show up in one of the shows, and
Hold on, I gotta throw this quote out there real fast. Who's scruffy looking?
nerf herder. Look at us. Good one, LeRon.
And everyone swears I'm just a Trekkie.
Yeah.
No, Empire Strikes Back is my favorite out of the entire 9 movies.
Look, LeRon, a broken clock is right twice a day. Okay.
Yeah, for me it's Rogue One. I just love that movie.
No, I said out of the 9 movies, like the 9 main movies.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
Rogue One is the shit.
Yeah, Rogue One's great. Andor is great too. Oh my gosh, Andor was so good. I kind of want to rewatch it, but
I haven't even started it yet.
Oh man, it's so good. Okay, episodes 3 through 4. I don't know how many episodes are good. The first 2 episodes are kind of slow. Stephanie, what about you?
What episodes? Or are we talking about the next
No,
game?
next game.
Okay, I was
Sorry.
like, huh? No, it's all right. Alternating back to an indie game, and actually Eddie mentioned it on Pal Block anticipated games, is Coffee Talk Chapter 2. Fantastic indie. The first game was fantastic. They are able to create a game based on something so ordinary as making coffee and talking to people, and yet it kept my interest the entire time. I was initially concerned in the first game that I'd get bored of it, but I loved it, and the twist at the end was fantastic. So I'm really looking forward to Chapter 2, and I want to support the dev, so can't wait.
Nice.
Jesse, it's back to you.
So I mean, I haven't again been keeping up on things, but I think the new Zelda is supposed to be coming out this year.
Yeah, it's in May. It's also on my
We
list.
hope.
Kingdom.
We hope.
Tears of
Yeah.
the Kingdom. Yay.
Yeah. So
in May.
that's my number 2. I obviously, like, I mean, Breath of the Wild was the one that like just got me back into Zelda like hardcore all over again. And so yeah, I want to see the story continue, and yeah, like I'm excited. Like, it just they're doing some different stuff with it. There's there's parts of me that are a little worried because Breath of the Wild for me was so amazing. Like I just like I want to see what they're gonna do in this, to kind of change it up a bit. But at the same time, I really, really hope that it feels like Breath of the Wild. As far as like like this the venturing out and like kind of going around and trying to just go all over the world and find things and stuff like that is what did it for me on Breath of the Wild. Like it's kind of like why I've always liked the like those open world like FPS shooter games, like Far Cry and stuff. Like I love venturing around and stuff, and I really hope they do that a lot, in this.
And
But
here's the thing, like, even though they showed us a couple of trailers, we
yeah,
still don't really know the primary hook of the game. We really
yeah,
don't.
yeah,
So, if it wasn't for the fact that Nintendo treats their primary IPs with tender love and care, I normally would be concerned.
hmm,
I
Mhm.
still think they'll pull it off, but the fact that we don't know the primary hook of the game and it's less than 5 months away, it's like, oh, come on. But yeah, that's
Yeah, but
my number
hmm,
that
one.
was that was
What
Breath of the
Link?
Wild
What
too,
Link's
though.
jumping off of clouds? That's the prime. That's the premise.
That
Skyward Sword. That was if this is a Skyward Sword clone, I'm gonna be pissed. Just saying.
here's the thing though, like when we saw Breath of the Wild for the first time, in every subsequent time after, they never left the Great Plateau until the game came out. Like every trailer, every gameplay moment, every
Okay, but what's different, Corey, is that we all knew Breath of the Wild was going to be different. It's going to be an open world game where you can do whatever you want. So it was already like
Mhm.
we might not know the 100% the hook of the game, but we know it was going to be that different. But because it's built in the same world, so to speak, as Breath of the Wild, we want to know what's different.
Yeah, uh, that's fair. I think there's gonna be time travel and
Mm,
obviously the sky stuff is gonna be different. I don't think it's gonna be Skyward Sword. I just think
I
it's
hope
like
not.
I think it's just like, oh, there's ruins in the sky, and I think that's where the time travel stuff comes from.
yeah,
And like I think there's a whole underground that we need to explore also. I think
yeah,
this game's gonna be massive. This game's probably gonna be twice the size of Breath of the Wild.
yeah. I
So
was gonna say, is it? I'm hoping what it is it's just the game's gonna be more vertical.
yeah.
Like be the same exploration as Breath of the Wild, but it's going to have more vertical, like, so you're not only searching this massive land, but you're searching above and, like you said, possibly below that same land that you can like, yeah,
Yeah.
like have more like, even if you have like the shrines and stuff are like taking you underground, or
Mhm.
like, like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but like you
Um,
said though, Stephanie, we really don't know. We really don't know a whole lot yet, and it has me a little worried. But at the same time, like I'm not,
Yeah.
I'm not
yeah.
worried. But
Yeah, it'll come when it comes and it'll be great. That's the bottom line. That's my
mhm.
number one anticipated game.
Yeah, that's also my number one. Um,
It was nowhere on my list.
mm,
We didn't ask you for your opinion, LeRon.
Nobody rung your buzzer.
I think we're gonna skip LeRon for the next one. No, I'm just kidding. LeRon, is this your final game? I don't know.
No, this is number two, and I have a tie.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
This tie goes between Wolong Fallen Dynasty and Starfield.
Ooh.
Mm.
Wolong's on
Yeah,
Game Pass. Both on Game Pass, actually.
yeah, they're both on Game Pass. Yeah, and I don't know, like just seeing the trailer for Wolong, like just got me so amped, you know.
Yeah.
And the sad part is, I don't know what the hell the game's about. Is it like a new take on Onimusha? I don't know what's going on. It
Yeah.
just looks so flashy and so stylish. I'm like, this is Devil May Cry meets freaking Onimusha, and let's do this shit with a little bit of Ninja Gaiden in there. We're just with a twist.
I think it is
Eh,
the Neo team, though, right? Like,
Is it Neo?
yeah. I think it's the team that did Neo's new game. Team Ninja. I think it's Team Ninja's game.
Team Ninja, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's isn't that fucking Ninja Gaiden though?
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
But I'm
okay.
saying
I was like, don't confuse me.
no.
Please don't confuse me.
I just meant that it seems more like a follow up to Neo than to Ninja Gaiden. Was
Okay,
what I
I
was
mean,
getting at.
there's that.
Sorry,
I really don't know.
Probably should have communicated that better.
And then of course Starfield. I feel like this is going to be like the love letter to Mass Effect fans. Just as much so as it's going to be a love letter to Fallout fans. Stuff like that. But I feel like Starfield is what's going to take us Mass Effect fans through to Mass Effect. I guess the official number is 5 now.
It's just called the next Mass Effect, LeRon.
Until they actually drop a name for it.
That's fair.
Yeah, well, the 5th Mass Effect project. Let's put it that way.
Oh man.
But yeah, I mean, Starfield, like the last Fallout game I played seriously was Fallout 3, and I played Fallout 3 the Game of the Year edition. So that was Fallout 3 plus all 3, 3 expansions. I can't remember.
3.
I know the pit was the shit.
Yeah.
I know the pit was like amazing. And I had not taken Fallout seriously ever since.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't really know if anybody has, except for maybe New Vegas, but I feel like there's a lot of revisionist history on New Vegas now.
So that's it. It's a tie for like the second spot between those two games, because I can't really say which ones I'm more amped for. If I were to say, probably I'm more amped for Wolong than I am for Starfield, but I've had interest in Starfield since before like this whole ZeniMax Bethesda thing happened with Microsoft, and they were like, oh, it's no longer coming to PlayStation. Well, thank God I have a fucking PC, and thank God I have Game Pass.
Yeah. My number 2 is Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah,
nice.
That's my number 2.
I'm so excited for that game. I've been watching a lot of stuff. Did you see the social media campaign that's going on right now on Twitter and Instagram?
No.
Where they're like releasing the voice cast and who's playing who. Simon Pegg is the headmaster.
No way! I love Simon Pegg. He's my man. I love him.
Yeah, hold on.
Well,
I love all his movies.
Yeah, it's there's like a really strong voice cast in this game. It's
Oh my
awesome.
gosh, I'm freaking out. I kind of am staying away from it only because whenever I look up stuff like that, I also see like the other shit that goes on. Like there was a news article about a Reddit thread that says if you even so much as buy Hogwarts Legacy, you're going to be banned from the Reddit thread and all that stuff.
Really?
And it gets
How would they
down.
even know? How would they even fucking know?
Yeah, they're like, oh, if you buy it, then you're a transphobe. I'm like, okay, well, that doesn't. One thing doesn't necessarily equal the other.
First of all, I'm fucking part of the. I'm part of the fucking community, and if I decide to buy and play the fucking game, it's not because I'm a fucking transphobe.
Me too, and that's
I'm so tired of this conversation, though.
I'm sorry. It's just
no.
Well, hold on.
It's not your fault. I'm just saying, like.
God, no. Let's not even get into that. Let's shift gears from that because, like last night on Crossroads, we talked about Hogwarts Legacy is Steam's top-selling premium game a month ahead of its release.
No, yeah,
it's number 5 on Steam's global top sellers list, which is based on revenue and not so much unit sales. So it's looking like in the run up to this game's release, it's going to be a big launch for this game, at least on the PC side.
And that's great. I want it to be successful.
I don't know how the console players are getting down, but I know PC gamers are ready for it.
Yeah, and everyone's distanced themselves from the problem, as far as like the people who are making the game. And at this point, like people know that like Harry Potter can exist in a world where people who are against the things that she stands for or thinks, like it doesn't matter. You're not supporting her by,
well, I mean,
like
you're not directly supporting her is basically what people need to realize, because I can't stand the freaking absolutism of like gamers. It's like we don't want to, like, we get pissed off when like companies get shut down because games don't sell well, and then we got gamers out there actively trying to not make a game sell.
Well,
You know,
remember when everybody got mad at Activision Blizzard and say they were going to boycott their games, and 2 weeks later they went out and made Diablo 2 Resurrected the second highest
Corey,
selling game of the
I'm
game?
tired of you bringing that up. I'm tired of you bringing that up because it's a true thing. It's a true thing, you know. But my whole thing is gamers need to realize, you know, like, look, like, take a stand, but don't ruin somebody else's fun. Just like how, like, I was talking shit about Stray, that was all sarcasm because, like, I own the game. I love it. I love it and stuff like that, and I'm not taking away anybody's joy from playing it. I don't get the same. I didn't derive the same.
He
type
just
of
wants
joy
to take
that.
joy away from me specifically.
No, I don't. No, I don't. I love you, Stephanie, and I'm the one that kind of gave you the push to make sure you got back on PlayStation Plus just so you could get a copy of it.
I know.
And you loved it so much, you bought a physical copy.
I did.
Ooh,
Yeah,
sounds like
so
Stray.
I mean,
Did it come
so
with
yeah,
a scratching post?
ultimately gamers need to do better. It's like do you want to put these developers out of business and then we no longer get avenues for new games, or do you want to shut the fuck up and make sure people stay employed so we can keep doing the thing that we fucking do is love games? Like, there's other ways that you can stick it to J.K. Rowling, and this ain't it, because J.K. Rowling did not develop this game.
And there's a lot of people that aren't paying attention to the politics of it either, you know, like
I mean, clearly with the Steam numbers,
like I mean, you know, you can't. I mean, if you're in the know, then okay, like, you know, whatever. But I mean, there's people that are gonna buy it that possibly have no clue what's even going on with all of it, you know.
True, because I really wish I could be one of those ignorant masses, you know, that I just want to play my fucking games. I just want to live my life, you know, and stuff like that. But, you know, I have to pay attention to politics because like a lot of this stuff, like, it's all intersectional towards me and people like me and stuff like that. So I have to pay attention to this stuff sometimes. But what I cannot stand is when a common ass person, and by common ass I mean a gamer, wants to like soapbox about some shit that, you know, like, is beyond their control. Like, the only thing they have control of is if they want to buy the game or not, if they want to play the game or not, you know. And I guarantee you, these motherfuckers that are like, we're not buying the game, they want to fucking play the game, so they're probably going to pirate this shit.
Yeah. Well, I'm buying it. I might buy it twice.
I don't know about buying it twice.
And we might be covering this on a Boss Rush book club. Just
no, we are covering it on Boss Rush book club.
I'm just trying to create suspense for the audience.
What is this Boss Rush book club you speak of?
Gosh, Corey,
you ruined it.
I only wrote like a paragraph and all the dates and stuff for it behind the scenes.
Stephanie, aren't you next? We've discussed too much.
Yep. Sorry. Yes, I am next, and I think I'm kind of out of ones because I had Hogwarts Legacy.
Everything kind of got scooped.
Yeah, but it's fine because I do want to throw in one honorable mention because I fully expect it to be a terrible game, but I'm going to buy it anyway just for the sake of the madness. Is Crime Boss Rockay City, because I want to see Chuck fucking Norris in that game.
I feel like if that's the only draw.
No, not the only draw. We got was it?
Well, no. The internet's acting like that's the only draw.
He's one of the draws. I just want to go there for like all the crazy actors, all of them that they're putting in there, just so it could be crazy. I'll probably buy it when it's like on sale and heavily discounted, play it for the wackiness, and call it a day. The end.
It's on my radar. I'll say that. It's on my radar. Like, I mean, I'm looking for something to fill the void for Saints Row, and this looks like it might. It looks like it could do it.
Well, does anybody else have any other games?
Wait, Jesse, did you do your number one?
No, my number one is the Dead Space.
My number one too.
Remake.
Wow, look at
my number one too. All right, so we're about to have a love fest right now, Jesse. Please go on.
Yeah, no, I like. So yeah, other than like, I don't know, Portal 2, you know, there's very few games on my list of games that I've played like multiple times over and over and over again. And yeah, the original Dead Space and the second one, still some of my favorite games of all time. Resident Evil 2, it's like Resident Evil 2, Dead Space, like all those, I love horror. So like anything that can do the whole horror game and do it as well as Dead Space did, it's just so pleasing to shoot off limbs on the aliens. I mean, there's just so many things that game did so perfectly and just made me fall in love with the characters and the world. And I'm just ready to fall in love with that those characters in that world all over again, like I did with the Resident Evil 2 remake. So
Yeah.
like I just really really hope that they pull it off and make it feel new, but remind you of that original feel, of playing it. So
Did you guys watch the launch trailer?
Yes, the one that came out today. Hell
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I
Oh
haven't
my.
watched it yet today.
Oh my god. Like
I'll have to
my
check
my
that out.
my man reaction to that trailer. Oh my god. I'm so ready. No, I do have one complaint though. Why they make Nicole look so old?
Mm.
Like compared to like what she looked like in the original game, like she looks like she's aged a little bit. You know,
Maybe they're
that's
older.
how can they be older if it's supposed to be taking place? Like metaphorically in the same time.
No, I just mean like maybe in general they're just
Maybe
older
they're old.
characters.
Maybe they were older than they were meant to be perceived in the original game.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a possibility. That's a possibility. But yeah, like I mean, like there's so much I can just like gush on about this game about. Like I love the fact that Motive like paid attention to detail and like threw quality of life changes in there from Dead Space 2 and 3 to modernize the game because like I tell you what, man, like spacewalking in the original Dead Space was not like spacewalking was in Dead Space 2 and 3 and I'm so glad they put that mechanic in there for the zero G stuff. Also the fact that Isaac is talking, like there's that, like the weapons have gotten like, they've been spruced up. Let's put it that way. Like they went in and re-recorded like all the sound effects and all that stuff like, basically like, like there's so much clarity and depth into it and the game just looks so polished. And the cool thing is like it's it's all in game. Like there's no cut scenes. It's all in game. The only cut scenes I think they're in the game is when you're checking out like the transmissions on the holovids. And I honestly think a lot of those were actually pre-rendered from in-game for in-game assets too. So like there's no cut scenes. So everything you see in these trailers is the game. and
Gosh.
and man, like the splat physics I've watched practically all the developers' diaries. The splat physics when you're shooting the necromorphs and stuff like that. Oh my god, where you're just tearing flesh off of them and exposing like raw bone and all that stuff. Oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait. And I also can't wait to do all the Dead Space tricks, like kill them with their own body parts and stuff like that. Oh man, I cannot wait.
I will muster the courage someday to play it because it's one of those classics where I'm lucky enough to be around when the remakes have been made and looks fantastic. But I don't know if
You
I
know what?
can do it right now. I'm too scared.
This is a wonderful time for like newer gamers
Yeah.
because like they're getting remakes of classics, stuff that
Yeah.
stuff that we were nostalgic about, stuff that we became nostalgic about as old school gamers and stuff like that.
And the remakes are
Is
good. Like that's the thing too.
yeah, the remakes are good, and people can say what they want about remakes, like I know people get tired of remakes and remasters and stuff, but as long as the remakes and the remasters are elevating it in some way or fashion or whatnot,
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
I think there's a clear line where like at least at the moment, right, where like remakes from this era are acceptable and remakes from this era are not, right? Like I think like Resident Evil 2 is clearly a game that needed remade, right? Like I think that whole tank controls, ISO camera angles, like that needed remade. Dead Space, like, honestly, kind of arguably didn't need remade, but also like it's shaping up to look like it's going to be incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I think the remake for this is the remake for well, I feel like they're doing this remake justice because like they're remaking the play mechanics, they're remaking the visuals, and they're also introducing stuff that was not accessible in the original games. Like because of the zero G element now, you can actually explore parts of the game that were basically cut off. They were just stuff in the background now. You know,
Aren't they adding expanded content to this game too? Like, isn't that
when you
I
say
heard that?
content,
Like
you mean what do you
stuff
mean?
that was cut from the original game.
I don't know. I don't remember if they said they're bringing stuff back that was left on the cutting room floor, but I do know is that they actually opened some things up because you know like they showed one place and I know it's in chapter 4. They showed one place in the game where basically it's the first time you actually encounter zero G in the game, and you can actually explore parts of Ishimura that were locked out to you because like you couldn't do that in the original zero G environment of the game and stuff like that. So they've opened up new things and stuff like that. So I'm all for it. And by the way, because we mentioned this on Crossroads last night, so I'll go ahead and say it here too. Anyone that pre-orders Dead Space now on Steam, pre-orders, you get a copy of the original Dead Space 2.
Oh, nice.
And that goes retroactively. If people have already pre-ordered the game on Steam, like they're going to get the copy of it too. So it means I'm going to have 2 copies of Dead Space 2 on PC. So I'm probably going to give one out for free.
Nice.
But you know what's kind of weird about this? Well, what's kind of insightful about this is like if they're giving out Dead Space 2, does this mean that they've probably been greenlit to start doing the remake process on the second Dead Space game?
I'm sure.
Oh,
because why would they give you the continuation of the story?
Yeah, I'm almost certain that it's going to get it.
When I mean, you know, like anyone that has like Game Pass Ultimate can grab it from the EA Play Store right now, or you know, you can literally go on Steam or Origin and spend $20 and buy it.
Yeah,
it's a wonderful time to be a gamer.
Great time.
Yeah, great time. And like just to like a really quick, with the like you were saying though, LeRon, with the and just. All of you about just the remakes lately, like that Resident Evil 2. I was so ready to just not be impressed with the remake because Resident Evil 2 is my baby. Like that is the game.
Oh no, really?
That was the game that I was just afraid. Like I loved the original Resident Evil 2 so much that I just was afraid that they were going to that they were going to do something to mess it up. But like, I love the remakes more than the original, and which almost never happened.
I loved RE2 and RE3 Nemesis so much that when I heard they were coming remakes, I was like, "Bring it on!" Like I was so excited.
I wanted it, but at the same time, I was like, I just was afraid.
There was no trepidation for me.
Yeah,
there was no trepidation for me. He's like, just let me have it.
So
have it. And I got to the point where, just like with Resident Evil 2 and 3, I got to the point where I was actually speed running the remakes.
Yeah,
I played them that many times. Even though Mr. X can suck a dick, but you know.
Speaking of sucking dicks, it's time to get out of here. I don't know what that means. Anyways, I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening. Also, shout out real quick to Mina the Hollower and Sea of Stars. Those are 2 games that were on my PAL block, most anticipated games. But also a couple indies we didn't really shout out too many.
My honorable mentions were Street Fighter 6, Jedi Survivor, which somebody already mentioned, and Like a Dragon Ishin.
Cool. Jesse, glad you're back. Glad you're here, and hopefully you'll hang out with us more moving forward. Missed you. Glad you're doing all right, and and LeRon, Stephanie, thank you for your time again as always tonight.
Always a service.
Remember, you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Boss Rush Podcast. You can find all of our content on bossrush.net. And check out a new episode of the podcast every Monday. You can get it 1 week early on Patreon. So head on over there. As well as other shows. New shows coming up, as Stephanie maybe hinted at.
Wink, wink, hint, hint.
Nudge, nudge. All right. I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening. Until next time, we love you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Take care.
The Boss Rush Podcast is a product of Boss Rush Media, LLC, and is recorded from our headquarters in Akron, Ohio. This show is produced, written, and directed by me, Corey Dirrig. My co-hosts are Stephanie Klimov, LeRon Dawkins, and Edward Varnell. You can find Stephanie at Klimov_author on Twitter and Instagram, as well as on the EXPcast. You can find LeRon at Exodus803 on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube, and also on Crossroads, the video game podcast. You can find Edward at ThatRetroCode on Twitter and Instagram, as well as hosting Nintendo Power Block. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at IamCoreyInHD, and find me hosting Tower Casuals, the Destiny podcast, and co-hosting Nintendo Power Block. Find the Boss Rush Podcast on all social media platforms at Boss Rush Podcast. You can also follow Boss Rush Media and Boss Rush Network on all major social media platforms. Join the Boss Rush Network Discord and Facebook groups to interact with other friends and fans. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.